Hey guys, what's up? This is Maris here. Welcome to my first times, episode 7. This episode is the first time I went to a club. We have already talked about the first time I went to a strip club. Check that out. Link will be in the description. But first time I've been to a club. Again, this was in Bangkok because most of the stuff I do is in Bangkok. I must have been a freshman at the time, so 2009 maybe? 2009 sounds about right. And this is the first time I went to a club, obviously. And I was with a few of my friends who have moved by this time. One of them was Steve, or Young Sub. He was Korean, and he was huge. So what I ended up doing is I ended up staying at his house because his parents didn't really care if he went out or not. So I stayed at his house, and it was like me, him, I think Nino, and Sam, who doesn't really go out anymore, but he did then. And we all decided to go to this club that was a party during the time called 808. Now, since then, I think they've changed the name to LED because the owners have changed. But I mean, it's still a pretty cool club, I guess. I haven't been there since it's been to LED, but I have been 808, and I think it's pretty much similar. They just changed like the basic design of it. And anyway, we went there, and I think the party was called Overdose. You guys, I don't know what that means. And it was scheduled to start at like 9 or something. But we got there at like 10, just get there a little late because you don't want to get there like first thing when no one's in the club. So we got there, and then they were checking IDs. Now, this is the one thing I don't like about this club is that this is probably the only club that actually checks for IDs. All the other clubs just let you go in as long as you act mature and don't do anything stupid. They let you go in and have a blast. This club, though, took our IDs. And just that day, actually, we went and got IDs. But they were really crappy IDs, not like the IDs you're going to find in the U.S., which are really high-tech or really really well qualified. The ones in Bangkok are not very, they're very noticeable as well. But what we ended up doing is we ended up giving that to them, and we got turned away. So, obviously, naturally, we're like, okay, well, this night sucks. But eventually, the owner of the club at that time came out and said they can't let people in with fake IDs at this time because the cops are going to come. So what happened is the cops came, we waited for the cops to go, and then he pretty much just let us all in. Or we had to actually pay off the bouncers, but he let us all in. And then we went in. Now, it was the first time I went in to a club before, and it was very loud. Even now when I go out, I still am like partially deaf afterwards. And the thing about 808 was that the dance floor was very, very small. It wasn't very big at all, and you had to fit like 100 people on that dance floor, and it was not big at all. But the DJ that night was good. I think it was DJ Nexus, maybe. I can't remember the specific details, but it was good. But unfortunately for me, this being the first club that I went to, I decided to chill on the top floor. Now, in 808 LED, there is the first floor, which is like the bar, the dance floor, all that crap. And I think they have shisha now there. I'm not sure. But there's also a top floor. Now, the top floor has like the bathrooms and the smoking area. I decided to pretty much just chill on the top floor for the most of the time, and I smoked maybe half a pack of cigarettes with my friends, or we smoked half a pack, or we smoked a whole pack, but I probably smoked half a pack of that. And yeah, so I was like, I could not speak the next day because my throat was so smoky, I guess you could say. It was a horrible joke, but it was very smoky, and so I couldn't do anything pretty much. What else? We also brought drinks up there, of course. We had shots, beers, mixes, all that crap. And that was my typical night. Now, it was probably not how I would have liked to spend my first time in a club, but since then I've actually got a lot better. But it was funny because we were all up there smoking, so obviously we all like to smoke. And some guy came up there and was asking us if we wanted to buy weed, which was different, I'll say. And yeah, I mean, none of us got it because obviously you're surrounded by a place where cops can come easily, and they'll test everyone, and they'll realize that you smoked weed. And again, smoking weed and gambling in Thailand is one of the things that they actually try to enforce compared to the drinking age and smoking age. They don't try to enforce that at all. There's that. And another funny thing, we were all taking shots. And my friend by the time was pretty like tipsy or pretty drunk, and a guy was passing around tequila shots with the same shot glass. So we pretty much some guy would take a shot, fill it back up, and then pass it to another person, and he would take the shot and just go around the entire circle. The other funny stories that I have is there was two girls that I was talking to, and it was upstairs, same place, because the only time I went downstairs was just to get drinks. But I was talking with them upstairs, and I started talking to them because I gave them a cigarette. But they were asking me how old I was, what grade I was in. I said I was a sophomore, or it was the end of year party, so I said I was a sophomore, so I would really be a junior. And they didn't believe me, so I called my friend Nino, who is still my good friend. I called him over to like say what age we were, and he, little dick man, he said that we were freshmen. So obviously blew off that chance. Nino's not a very good wingman, little shit. Um, but that was funny. And then another thing, Nino's sister at the time, who actually was a junior, or no, was she a junior? Maybe she was a sophomore. I can't remember. But she was smoking, and she brought her boyfriend over. And then or I was smoking, and she came over and she ripped the cigarette out of my mouth and threw it on the ground. And I still had like a lot of it to go. So, and she stomped on it. I was like, okay, well, that was annoying. So I just reached in my pocket, grabbed out another cigarette, was about to start smoking it, and then she took that one and threw it on the ground. So, like, I pretty much just wasted two of my cigarettes there, and she was saying like cigarettes were bad and stuff. And then I saw her smoking that night as well. But what are you gonna do? That was a funny moment as well. I learned to keep my cigarettes to myself after that. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. In the comments below, leave any ideas what I should do in the future. I know you guys have been requesting an episode where I talk about the first time I had sex. And this is what I'm going to do. I am going to tell you guys that story. But I am not going to tell you guys that story until it's the last episode of the series. So if this series, My First Times, goes to like 20 episodes, in episode 20, I will feature the first time I had sex. Maybe you guys will listen to that. And I still have a lot of episodes to go, so stay tuned for that. Leave ideas about what future My First Times episodes can be. I'll read all of them, and I will get back to you guys. See ya.